Ladies, lads, mums and dads, today I want to talk about the mount system. Everything from its introduction to how I'm currently feeling about it. The mount system is a new addition to the Diablo franchise. Alongside its introduction, we've seen a vast increase in the size of the map and the amount of traversal that we need to do. Yeah, it's nice being able to move faster around what is a very large map, even if you add in consideration for the teleporters. A mount system just makes sense, right? Added movement, player fantasy, all these things are why a mounting system should be introduced to this franchise. But my god, does it currently suck right now. Riding around feels clunky. I'm clipping into invisible walls, small raised parts of the floor. There's no smoothness. It's jagged. I encounter any sort of barrier to which in other games you'd either be able to run through or your model will just adapt itself to an appropriate path. But no, this dumpster fire of an invention stops my model every damn time. Now I get it, terrain can make it difficult to create a linear pathway for the vehicle engine to move across, and that's why you create mitigating circumstances. Say, you want to get from A to B, but to do that, your vehicle has to get over a perfectly placed rock. Currently, in Diablo, your vehicle gets to that rock, stops, has a pint and waits for it all to blow over. We don't want this. We want our vehicle to get to the rock and use the power of imagination to go straight through it, as if the rock was never there. Wow, problem solved, go us. And I'm not a developer, but this doesn't seem that hard to do, and if it is hard, well, you know, you've had years to get this piece of homework right, haven't you? Now, the new mount system has this burst mechanic in place. Pressing spacebar or the equivalent on your controller gives your mount a few seconds of extra speed. That would be fine, except for maybe one or more things. My mount moves at the speed of a dainty trot if I don't use this, and if I do use them, my burst of speed is highly restricted to a few seconds. Again, fine? No, because I want to use all of my charges to maintain this increased speed. As soon as, and I mean immediately, once that burst of speed charge is done, my horse just goes back to being momentum challenged. There's no slow deceleration, my horse just goes from hero to zero. And now that I've used all of my charges, I have to wait until I can go back to a pace which seems appropriate to move around the map. It's the most frustrating system I have seen in a long time. I just don't get it. What needs to happen is they need to get rid of this charge system. Don't give me more charges, don't decrease the cooldown, just give my mount a base speed and get rid of everything else. Now you may be thinking, that's it for the last point. Well, not for us PC enthusiasts. Yay. We have this very interesting mechanic where we have to point our mouse out as far as we possibly can to move the mount at certain speeds. Have your mouse too close to the horse when using the go fast move, and trust me, you won't be going fast. Slightly touch the UI bar on your screen, and you won't be going anywhere. This just makes zero sense. Be a dear and remove this too. Finally, the last point I'll be talking about. Dismounting. There is a literal cooldown for when you get off your mount. This was obviously put in place for... the script just says insert your own reasons here. Let's just ignore this, shall we? As if it couldn't get worse, the cooldown period goes up if you get dismounted from damage, because on top of the other shitty systems that the mount has, it also has this bar that goes up every time you take damage. Every time. And you'd think you'd get like a 5-second penalty to the cooldown. Nah, the cooldown goes up to like 30 seconds. Why is it that there's just no cooldown on mounting and dismounting, and instead, if you do get dismounted from damage, you get a 5-second cooldown to remount? That would be, that would just be really stupid. Oh my god. I think I might be onto something.
I need more time.
Oh, and did I mention that if you open up your map while moving, where you place your mouse doesn't count and your mount will just stop anyway? Because the map counts as full screen for some reason, and any sort of interaction in game can't be done if you're moving the map around. Now we've got this beautiful dream sequence, let's put all these points together into a beautiful scenario. You're riding on your horse, going to a specific destination on the map, and for a moment you have to look at your map. Once you open your map, you're now forced to only view and move the map around. This forces your character to stop in place, probably surrounded by mobs. Now, to add insult to injury, in most situations you're probably going to be dismounted. You can quickly get back up on your horse, right? Well, wrong. There's now a timeout period that you're forced to wait for. Now suppose you don't get dismounted once coming out of your map and you continue to ride. You hit an invisible wall right in the middle of some mobs. Those mobs start hitting you and then yes, you guessed it, you get dismounted. Oh, and a timeout period happens again, so now it's going to take you longer to traverse the map. How fucking efficient. I'll leave you with this. If you have a sandwich filled with ham, honey mustard, lettuce, tomatoes, and shit, yes, the doo-doo, when you eat that sandwich, you're not going to taste the other things in the sandwich. That sweet crisp ham, the beautiful honey mustard, the freshness of the tomato. Only the shit. Nothing else but the shit. None of those other ingredients will taste like anything because all you'll be tasting is the shit. Well, that's a bit like how I feel with riding my Mount Diablo. A lot of it is pretty good, but all I can ever know is the shit, because the shit makes me hate the overall experience. Sort your shit out, Blizzard. See ya.